Hi, I'm Sonia Sawyer-Fritz, the general editor of SLANT. After what has been a challenging year, to say the least, we're really excited to share with you our first ever virtual poetry reading. This is a compilation of some of the poems published in this year's issue, read by the poets themselves. I'd like to give really quickly a hearty thanks to Tyler Graham, our editorial assistant, for compiling this video, and also to the UCA English department where our journal is housed. And if you'd like to order a copy of this year's issue, you can do so at our website, which is uca.edu/English/slant. Thanks so much, and we hope you enjoy.
I'm Sarah Backer, and I'm going to read my poem, Blue Crest. The day is worn out, the moon too tired to rise. On the hill I slowly descend, I follow taillights, a long twisting strand of red. White headlights shoot into my eyes. I get stuck on the bridge. Suspense. Is getting stuck why suicides choose bridges, or is it about the jump? The desire to finish in one dark dive after thinking too much or too little? All of us always at the edge of about to end, about to start, the tyranny. I've come to terms with getting nowhere. I stall my fears with small distractions I don't really enjoy. Tiny windows light up with simple games. In my dark apartment, 2 cats wait for me, hungry. What would happen to them if I couldn't return? I think about slow starvation. I think about crazed escape.
Whenever I search for a comment, I'm rousted by cops. Once with friends in a graveyard in Ashland, Kentucky, because Jen wanted to show me the matron angel mourning sternly over a cruel husband. I wanted to stay close to her and maybe spot the stripe of a flyby in less light hazy sky. Again, in Huntington, West Virginia, someone finked as I lay on a campus walk, steadying for a better view of the nearest streak. The universe is so vast we can't appreciate what's nearest to us. What enforces loneliness more than empty sky where fireballs should be? In my case, police. A few close friends who should have made me feel less distant, didn't. Never heavenly chariots I hope to cross my darling midnights with.
Hi, I'm Jesse Brighty, and I'm here to read my poem that was in SLANT in the recent edition, summer 2020. My poem is called How to Clean a Fish. Lay that fish flat. Make sure it sets still by cutting off its tail. Let drain. In the big yard on Ohio Street, the grass is stubborn fir. I ran wild. I used to watch the old man next door do it just so. Hold that head and slice knife behind gill. Cut down, not through. Nice and slow. Chuck fins and slick guts stuck on fingers. How does skin remember rocks felt in childish hands, the text of dirt, the land, even though all else disappears when you return after years? Hang on branch and split down belly. Yank skin off with pliers. Decapitate. Mama grabbed my arm before I stepped on the snake. When Daddy cut bushes, they hung bright and green like liquid strings on the twig. Turn blade flat. Keen edge against tail. Saw up and down. Keep close to spine, to ribs, then from the top down to bone. How cold and true, the clean blade sliding through, the quivering lump stuck to bone. You feel it when all else fails. strung round your neck. Baby teeth glam like quartz.
I'm Linda Caspear, and I'm going to read a poem called A Cottage Named Rest and Be Thankful. It begins early on Thanksgiving morning when families gather, and often family drama unfolds sometime during the day. A cottage named Rest and Be Thankful. It was shots across the lake at dawn. It was deer season's opening day. It was cold, it was windy, it was dreary, it was Thanksgiving. Nothing moved except hunters and their prey. It was quiet, it was ritual, it was family, it was gratitude. It could have been bliss. All the leaves wedged into the table. It was marks left in oak from scores kept for word games, for dice games, slight numbers revealed by polish. It was flowers, it was candles, it was family, it was hours, it was basting. A white pop-out thermometer holding firm, it was bird, almost done, always. It was teen girls, it was makeup, it was shadow, it was gloss, it was miniskirts, a walk in the park before dinner. Finally, it was time, it was platter, it was savory, it was steam, it was carving, it was breast, it was thigh, it was dressing. It was mashed potatoes getting cold on my mother's plate. She was 8. Sitting for hours over potatoes she had slathered with mustard, not excused from the table. Her lesson, the walls her parents scrubbed for depression potatoes. It was time to gather without question, but should we wait for the girls? It was slate gray sky, quickly darkening. It was roaming the neighborhood in cars, the park dark. It was doe, a deer, a female deer. It was guns, it was rape, it was murder, it was mayhem, until we stopped the cars, more or less all in agreement. The girls would return when they got cold enough. Where else would they go? And later they did.
Hey friends, my name is Janelle Cordero, and I have a poem called Something Others Might Want, published in the latest edition of SLANT. So I wanted to read the poem for you. A clear afternoon in October, around 55 degrees, with no wind or clouds, and he decides to walk the 3 blocks to the pizza joint on Bridgeport for a warm meal he can bring home. He walks everywhere anyway, no car, suspended license. But usually he has to walk, no choice about it. This time he decides to walk because he could have the pizza delivered, or he could just heat up one of the TV dinners from the freezer. The lasagna ones aren't half bad. He has other options is what I'm saying. But you could say he wants to walk this time. He likes the way the sun warms his face while his hands become colder and colder. He likes the way the fallen leaves cover most of the garbage on the sidewalk. When he gets to the pizza place, he orders an extra large cheese, keeps it simple so he won't have to wait long. They hand him a grease-stained cardboard box in no time, and he's out the door again. Steam rises from the corners of the box as he walks home. He's proud to be carrying something warm and fragrant, something others might want. Go read all the poems in SLANT. Thanks, y'all.
In one weekend, I handed 2 sets of €2 coins to 2 sets of strangers, both begging for the price of a cup of tea. I then held my 2-week-old niece for the first time. 2 grown weeks in this 2-halved of a world.
Hi, I'm William Dorowski. I'm going to read a poem entitled The Grace of the Garden Cemetery. In August we elongate to conform to certain shadows, no particular object casts. The streets resist interrogation. The square two-family houses brace themselves against shifts in mood and density of cloud. You walk one route to the bus stop while I walk another. We meet in a spangle and jangle of sighs, wondering where our lives went. The electric trolley buses hiss and spark, eager to ingest us, like being bellied in a whale. A short ride to the famous graveyard where we visit famous and famously rococo graves. Birds patter along their skyways with tiny squeaks of pleasure no human beyond adolescence can utter without a blush. We could lie on some heroic grave and touch both head and foot stones, but we refrain from blasphemies against the self-created image and unpack our picnic lunch beside a pond so full of turtles their shells clatter as they swim. Our ham sandwiches blame us for their fate, but we eat them with conscience almost clear, the shape and color of noon too bluff and shallow to rebuke us for hungers we've never curbed.
Okay, nursery monitor. Kettle sings, make time, make tea. We're here, it's now. The minutes fly, wasted time, rides tides to sea. On diapers, the baby's crying. Sea is old, sea bends down to tidal drift. I sing of world, the one that drowned in sandyscape. Windows shake. The baby's crying. It's not my fault I like my tea sweet, nor my denying I'll dance to whatever tune's played for me. I'm human. Damn, the baby's crying. Clock turns worried, hurried tick of time too fast, tide a whirl with flotsam leaking, bad news, rot. Dance goes frantic. Oh my God, the baby's shrieking.
Greetings from Dayton, Tennessee. My name is Daniel Gleason, and the title of my poem is Conjuring Prayer. Where prayers used to originate somewhere in the back of my mind, or should I call it my spirit, there now lives a need to picture the shadowy faces of those long gone, their noses fading in like a sketch, and their furrowed brows appearing only after a spell of cross-eyed concentration. If I could project each feature onto the screen of my cortex, then I could unclench my tightened fist. And what if the truest prayer is to bring back the face of an old friend?
Hi, I'm Valerie Griggs from Long Island, New York. I'm reading my poem, Caesura. The dinner table has been cleared for a while, and there's less light in the sky than 2 weeks ago this time. Book bags replace beach bags. The lawn's a little past green. There go the home team's chances. Summer's end is much harder to take than winter's or spring's. Harder to say goodbye to fruit-bearing time. The quiet of it hits me harder tonight than I can recall it having done so in the past. It's the end of the growing season, and I fear that may be true for me too. How many chances are left from now until I go into the ground? A lifetime of do-overs, never dreamed of, and beyond beliefs. Maybe the bumper crop won't come in after all. A shocking thought more than 5 decades in. I may not crush that fruit against my palate, or rest in the satisfaction of harvest again. I feel a dullness instead of vibrancy, an ache of emptiness in fields of abundance. I am tired of apple picking. Thank you, Slant.
Eric Mahan Howd from Ithaca, New York, reading Strawberry Fields. Strawberry Fields. I regret ignoring the monk in Central Park who offered me smile, beads, and prayers. This city hardens you on every corner, makes you lose sight, and forces your eyes to veer from the darkness of cups and coffee cans shaken by crippled veterans and homeless youth. The monk's look offered me joy and forgiveness, and I walked on as if I had somewhere to be.